What's up everybody, this is Adachi Gotcha here with a beginner's guide to Last Cloudia Global Version. We're going to go over the basics, what the game is, and whether or not I think it is worth your time. Last Cloudia is a 2D RPG with 3D rendered backgrounds and a battle system very similar to the Tales of series, Star Ocean, or Grand Summoners if you're familiar with those. Eidos, the company developing Last Cloudia, also originally developed Grand Summoners. The art in this game is really something else. Let me show you a scene from Shin's side story. Now I didn't show much, but it's a strong set piece beautifully animated in a very somber tone. All the events are custom animated, which is a small thing, but not something you see a lot of when it comes to mobile games. Opening up, we have at the top gold or Zell in this game, which is the in-game currency to do things like upgrade units and arcs, which we will get into in a little bit. The blue crystals are the paid currency, and next to that are the blue and red orbs. This game has a unique feature that allows you to endlessly grind or use the orbs as stamina to farm stages to level up the arcs. Before we go any further, we should get into what arcs exactly are. If you're familiar with games like Epic 7 or Fate Grand Order, they are essentially equipments similar to craft essences or artifacts that you pull from the gacha that not only give stats but have unique passives. Each arc also has a set of spells that can be taught to any unit in the game, which is really what sets this game apart as far as customization goes. Each arc also has an item that you can receive once you get what I'll just call the Trust Mastery percentage to 100%. Each time you run a stage with an arc equipped, it will have a chance to go up by 0.1%, but can also be raised with specific items by 5% each. Now that we have the arc basics out of the way, in these menus we have our inventory. You have things like materials to enhance units and bars of gold to sell for more Zell. The next tab is character souls, used for things like unlocking more parts of each unit side story and to limit break them further. These souls can be gained through regular gameplay or dupes from the gacha, really pushing forward the free-to-play aspect of the game, as dupes are, for good or bad, basically useless besides to progress at a faster rate. And the third tab is key items, which we'll get into the important ones later on. The bottom tabs are going to be your gear, and the final tab is your summons. These summons are gained through quests in the main story, and act like Esper summons in classic JRPGs or Final Fantasy, each having their own unique 3D animations. Some of these are unlocked through leveling up certain arcs like Yggdrasil here. Back in the menu we have your friends list. Friend units will be the fourth unit in your party, so these are very important. In the last tab here we have the friend gifts. Here you can request friendship points, which are used for friend point summons, and to purchase enhancing materials, Zell, or the two respective orbs to clear stages with your arcs equipped. Finally, this last tab is how you send these free gifts to your friends, gaining you additional friend points in the process. The sign icon is for all the news, and these are your presents, which unfortunately have to be collected one by one. This icon is for various missions you can complete for rewards. The game does not have daily missions, so this can be considered a good or bad thing. You won't be receiving daily rewards, but at the same time the game will not be trying to manipulate you into playing every day just to run some daily missions. The game can be played as little or as much as you want to get out of it, making it a great main or side game. Finally, we have the shop, where you can purchase the paid currency and various bundles. This is also where you'll be able to access things like the friend point shop, event currency shops, and what I will call the sparking shops. As you pull on any single banner, you will sometimes receive these various currencies, which can be used to purchase things like guaranteed SSR tickets, awakening materials, and various other rewards. I unfortunately don't know what these top left tabs do at the moment. Here we have our party tab, where you can adjust which units you want to bring along, the arcs you want to equip or unequip, your chosen summon, and the unit your friends on your friends list will be able to use. As you can see, each arc has an orb cost associated with each of them. This is the amount of orbs it will take to take these into every single quest. But consequently, if you don't want to equip any of them, losing out on the bonuses they give you, you can actually farm quests endlessly with no cost. This next menu is where you'll be able to manage all of your characters. Taking a look at the free unit Zex, we have a lot to break down here. From the top, you can get crystals from every character just by leveling them up. This third tab will show spells that the unit has learned from different arcs. Here we can see the level of the unit, and if we click the plus, we can use these potions to give them experience. Experience is only gained through running quests and through these potions right here. Next we see that the unit's level cap can be raised with certain materials and just a bit of Zell. All units can go to level 100, making every unit viable in their own way. Here we have limit breaks for units. This will boost base stats and their special skill, which I'll just call an Augie, or skill 4. These character souls are again obtained through gameplay or pulling dupes. Down here we have the unit's stats, resistances, skills, and unique passives. Here we can see a unit's learned spells and passives from arcs. As you can see, each one has a skill cost associated with it, and the skill cost cap at the top. This cap can be raised using souls or special rainbow souls. This next tab is for your gear. A great thing Idis has done is separate general use gear sets from your arena gear sets. This way you won't have to decide on what units get what gear and trying to balance out the PvP and PvE gameplay. And finally, the meat of every unit is their skill trees. Here their various stats can be raised. You can unlock further side stories for them, learn their third and fourth abilities and different passives. There's a lot going on here, and you can choose which way in the tree you'd like to focus on. This next tab is all of our obtained arcs. Here you can see the gorgeous art. I mean, goddamn, look at that. These arcs also give you crystals just for leveling them up. Here we can see their stats, their unique passive, and the list of spells that the arc can teach. These further ones, as you can see, are unlocked as you decide to level up the arc. As a precursor, you will never want to overlevel an arc if you can't sustain the orb cost, as this raises with each level. You level these arcs up with blue orbs and red orbs. We'll be seeing just how important these orbs are in a bit. And finally, here is the Trust Mastery reward I mentioned earlier. Here we have a piece of gear that I'm going to assume is pretty beneficial and pretty difficult to obtain. Finally, we have the Big Boy banners, the gacha that you will be pulling on. Here you can see the Secret of Mana collaboration that is going on in Japan. This is a step-up banner with increasing rewards. Normal banners here cost 3,000 crystals for a 10 pull and 300 for each individual pull. The option right here is the daily pull, which you can do at a reduced cost of 100 crystals for a single pull. The rates are as follows: 3% for a character, and so far all characters released in the gacha are SSR only, but the free units you have are more than enough if luck isn't on your side. 5% for SSR arcs, 27% for an SR arc, and 65% for a rare arc. At an 8% SSR rate, Last Cloudia is a bit more generous than some other games. Again though, dupes are more or less not very useful, so as with all gacha, it's best to just take it all in stride. Here we have summons that can be done with tickets given out through the game. And finally we have the Friendship Summon. Here we have a free 10 pull on the Friendship banner every day. These give you upgrading materials and various lower end character souls. Here in the story mode is going to be the meat of the gameplay. Starting with these bottom icons, we have the dispatch system. Here you can send out any character you own for a set amount of time. This will not make the units unavailable, but when they return you will get a chunk of their respective souls. The second icon is a shortcut to the different events going on, like experience, Zell, and limit break farming. At the top here is the current event quest, farmed for the event shop currency. At the bottom are the rotating quests not currently running, which can be unlocked with these keys. Finally, we have the means of obtaining more orbs. These shrines are unlocked as you progress more into the story and restore orbs at a certain rate, and stop at a certain cap depending on their levels. As you can see, the blue shrines are upgraded with Zell, and the red shrines are upgraded with blue orbs. But of course, these are also used to run quests with arcs to teach units spells, give them additional stats, and also to level up your arcs. This is a very fine balancing act, but upgrading these shrines first is what I would recommend. In the long run, you'll be gaining a lot more orbs by continuing to unlock and upgrade these shrines. Getting into an actual battle, first we start off with picking a stage. Each having their own 3 missions you can complete for crystals. Here we can pick a friend unit as our 4th unit in our party. Picking a mutual friend will give you 15 friend points, and picking a stranger's unit will give you only 5. You can see their unit level arc, and if you click and hold down on either the unit or the arc, you can see every detail that you would need to know about the unit you're picking, from gear to abilities. If you don't want to pick any friend unit, you can always click the red button at the bottom to run with just your own 3. Here in the battle screen, we can see each unit's abilities around the center button here. Each of these skills will charge up over time, holding a select amount of charges up to each one's unique cap, such as this bottom right 4th skill or the ultimate, being able to hold a cap of 1 charge to be used before its cooldown will actually start ticking down again. These abilities can be used in succession to chain together various combos. A big goal of physical combat in-game is to keep your enemy juggled in the air. The longer the enemy is juggled, the less it's going to be able to hit you. This button is how you will move your character and spam your basic attack. The bottom red button is how you will switch the enemy you are targeting. On the other side here you can change which unit you are controlling, although it's easier just to tap their picture. The bottom purple button is going to be your spell menu and where you will access your summons when they are available. Clicking a spell, you can change your target before you start casting. Once you're ready to cast it, click the red magic circle and you will begin a casting animation before the spell is unleashed. If you're hit in this animation, you'll have to go through the menu again to recast it. This will work on both enemies and allies. Don't forget, in combat, you can further adjust your manual settings. Things like how your party's AI will act, and whether or not you want your unit to run at the enemy in manual mode when you use your basic attack, or to simply attack wherever you're standing. Back here on the story map, we have chests scattered around that can be opened once you unlock the areas near them, and the various shops unlocked, with the most important one early on being right here. Various pieces of gear can be purchased with Zell, but most important are these 2 items here. These will unlock both the full auto mode and the full manual mode. Starting the game, you only have one option, which is most similar to semi-auto battle in the Tales of series. I recommend at the very least to try the game until you've unlocked these items to see if full manual is a bit more fun for you. Finally, we have the arena, which I won't delve too deep into, but these are just battles against other players' teams controlled by AI. You can run these for rewards, and it'll just be a fun way to push your team to their peak potential. Overall, this game is a beautifully animated game that is very text heavy. There's a lot of story here if you're into that, but you can just as easily skip it if none of the story or side stories interest you. There's a lot of unit management and strategy involved, with more content being released consistently. In Japan, the development team even runs live streams from time to time to go over upcoming content. I've always thought that development teams that are willing to engage with the community in a way like that are probably on a pretty good track and pretty confident in the product that they're trying to get you to try out. I'm going to leave various links in the description for things like Idis's social media pages, the pre-registration links for iOS and Android, and the link for the unofficial Discord, which is filled with a lot of helpful people and a ton of information carried over from the Japanese version. My verdict is this game is more than worth your time, being very free-to-play friendly, allowing you to play as much or as little as you want, and a lot here for you to play through every day. If you have any questions at all, feel free to leave a comment below, or any suggestions, I'd be more than happy to make a video on. I plan on doing a re-roll suggestion video coming up soon, so if you want to know when that is, feel free to subscribe for future content on Last Cloudia and other mobile games. Feel free to drop a like if this helped you at all, and I can't wait to see you guys all at the global release.
The bond between humans and beasts will change the world.